Okay. Hi guys, LisaMarie. How's everybody today? Chapter 3, The Science of Getting Rich. I've been going through each chapter at a time. This is actually my second go around with this book because The Science of Getting Rich is not a book that you can read just one time and get every concept, every principle, everything, philosophy too. I mean, this is really a deep book, and because it was written over a century ago, there is some of the language that is really tough to understand. So repetition is key with this. I think we should study it like a Bible. Bob Proctor, when his mentor gave him this book in 1963, 57 years ago, that man, he reads it every single day. No, not the entire book, but different chapters. I mean, each chapter probably only takes, less than 10 minutes. And there's only 16 or 17 chapters. I don't recall. But anyway, so chapter 3 is the opportunity monopolized. Okay, chapter 1, we talked about you have the right to be rich. Chapter 2, we talked about doing things in a certain way. And I don't know how many of you are reading this, but if you are watching live or the replay, let me know where you're watching from. And in the comments, let me know if you have read this book. And if you have not, if I am giving away free ebooks, PDFs, whatever. You can have this book completely free. Just reach out to me. Okay, so going through this book and now a few times, it has changed my paradigm. I don't know if I'm sure most of you know what paradigm is. It is your subconscious thoughts, our habits, the things that we do subconsciously. Like it's funny if you really consciously think about this. Some of the things that we do just out of habit without even thinking about it. When you get dressed in the morning, which foot do you put in your pants first? Which sock do you put on first? If you consciously thought about that, it would crack you up because we are such creatures of habit. So we need to be careful what habits we form. Most people, their way of thinking, like I said, is unconscious. But once your mind is expanded, once you open your mind to other things, once it expands, it cannot go back to the original state. You can only continue to get more and more more and more knowledge, more and more wisdom, more and more doing things in the certain way. Most people have thoughts in their head, and I did too. They think that there is not enough to go around, but in fact there is. They think all the money is gone, opportunity is gone, money, riches is for other people. And they always say, well, if only, maybe when I am grown up, maybe when I am wed, maybe. If you wait for everything to be exactly right to go after an opportunity, you never will do it. Sometimes fear and faith, they both are not visible to us. They are emotions. So if you can pick fear over faith, which one would you choose? You do have that choice. You don't need resources. You don't have to be smart. The only thing we need to do is be creative, We need to have imagination, and we need to become resourceful. That means doing things in a certain way. If you believe in the creator, you are always going to watch things come up that have a new trend. And we should always be in front of that trend. Think about back when we first got cell phones, or when we first heard of it. These people were walking around with like a briefcase, and they'd open it up and go through all this stuff. It was a big box, and then he picked up this phone, and the cord was still on it and raveled to that case. I mean, look at where things have gone with cell phones. There is always social advancement, I guess is what we could call it. Social advancement. The cell phones, ever since they first came out, and people were saying, "Oh, I don't need one of those. I'll never carry one of those around." Well, look at now. Look at how sleek and small. You see how they change through the years. They keep getting better and better. That is social advancement. That is social growth. And as long as we have that, things are always going to continue to get gooder and gooder, better and better, for sure. So we need to set ourselves in front of the trend. If you were going 90 miles an hour, a train was, would you want to be in front of that, having that momentum push you through, or do you want to be fighting against it, swimming downstream? You know what I mean? Which would you rather do? Because we do have choices. We do. So you get in front of that train and go, let that momentum push you. Ignorance on fire is way more better than knowing every single detail and having to, everything has to be just perfect. That is not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. There are always life stances. I know that all too well. So you don't want to go against the grain. So figure out what is trending and get in front of that fast moving train. No man is kept poor because things are monopolized. There are new things being created every day. Like the cell phone. There's always a trend going on. What else is there that we have? You know what I mean? Hey, Ross, I prefer the caboose. Hey, give her hell. Hey, Scott, how are you guys? Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that very much. So, there is more than enough for all. If we run out of sources, let's just say like gold and silver, more will be accumulated from the formless. I don't know if you guys remember that in chapter 1. The formless, we create things from the formless, but they have to start with a creative idea. Does that make sense? And then as soon as you hone in on that idea, then it starts to take shape, not only in your mind, but in the formless substance too. I know that's really hard to kind of understand that, but as these chapters go on, I think more and more of those weird words and the formless substance. But you think about it, and if you believe in your creator, then nature was always meant to continue growth. There is what do you want to call it? There is plenty for the whole entire world. And it is a matter of doing things in a certain way. And I got to keep harping on that because this is going to be continuous through this book. You may know that you think you know, Whatever you know, if it wasn't so, when would you like to know? You know, things get formed in our minds and we are stuck with that, but we don't have to be. So, um, one is not poor because all things are exhausted. The supply will never run out. There is always more that will be made from the formless. No man will go without anything that is needed. Nature is never ending source and creative things being produced in a certain way. The visible supply is practically inexhaustible. Everything you see on earth is made from one original substance. Can you even wrap your mind around that? That is so it's so cool. It's bizarre, but it's really cool. New forms are constantly being made, like the example with the cell phone. You know, that box to a little sleek device that fits in the palm of your hand. Everything is always evolving. And as long as there are people out there that need things, they will always keep getting created. I hope that makes sense. Let's see what anything else I want to put in there. I don't think so. Chapter 3 was a hard chapter for me to talk about my first time around too. I don't know why, but it was a difficult chapter 7 too. Gratitude. So that's it for today, and I'm not doing chapter 4 until Monday. But I might bop on here a couple of times before then, just with little short tidbits of value. So stay tuned. If you guys want to catch me live, click those three little dots up in the top right corner. And I believe that is your notification setting. And you can just get notified if I go live. A lot of people don't check their settings at all, so they never see you or whatever. But that's a little tidbit. Share, invite people to my group to be determined. That's where I give all the free gifts, and you can come and go as you please. It's a public group. I'm not chaining you in. You can take your gifts and never see you again. It doesn't bother me. Okay, they were gifted to me by my mentors, so I am gifting forward. I will gift to you. So, all right, have a great night. Bye, guys.